YouTube, Robinic, RMBJ2K, thank you guys for tuning to the channel, thank you guys for tuning to another video. I don't know if you guys saw by the title and the thumbnail, obviously you did, but if you're new to the channel, I want to introduce you guys to this series that I call Honest Build Review. Basically what I'm doing is taking these big YouTubers builds, I'm going ahead and making them, if I can make them straight out, or tweaking them a little bit, in order to give you guys value. As content creators, our job is to give you guys value. I'm hoping that these videos will help you guys make an honest, informed decision about if you want to make this specific build. So that's exactly what I did. I took the risk, I made this Cooper Flagg build, I tweaked it in order to accommodate for my specific cap breakers and build specialization. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it right here, right after I say, hey, Jesus Christ first always. Thank you guys for tuning into the video. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So here I'm going to show you guys, to begin this video, I'm going to show you guys the actual build that Swag gave us. So we're going to be a power forward. Again, this is Cooper Flagg. I'm going to go back so I can show you. This is Swag's flag version, obviously number 32, but let's go ahead and just jump into it. Maybe you guys have already seen this. If you have, go ahead and skip forward to the video where I give you guys my actual build that I made. But here it is. One thing that I noticed as I was going through the build is he actually has 12 cap breakers applied. Again, that's another thing of just taking these builds that these big YouTubers give you. They obviously do this full time. I am not there yet, but they do this full time. And all that is to say is because they have a boatload of freaking cap breakers to apply to their build. And if you're like me, maybe you don't have that much, and maybe you saw this and were like, hey, maybe I can't make this Cooper Flagg build. I'm going to show you guys a good middle ground of cap breakers. I only made my build with, I believe, 5 to 7 cap breakers, which honestly, I'm starter 2 right now. My crew level is decently high. I just switched over to a crew, but I have to wait to get the other cap breakers. So this is the version that Swag gave us. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the version that I made, just to give you guys, you know, another, I would say, perspective on how you can make these builds that these big YouTubers are dropping. So let's go ahead and show you guys what I made. I'm going to go ahead and edit this. We're going to be the same exact height. We're going to be the same exact weight. 6'9", 220 pounds, 7'3". All this stays the same. We're actually not going to be Swag's flag. I made mine actually called Cooper Flagg, obviously, because that's his name. We're going to be right-handedness number 32 because he's on the 32 Dallas Mavericks. Again, like I mentioned, we're going to be 6'9". We're going to be a power forward, and our weight's going to be 220. And here's the version that I made. Right off the jump, if you're just going to take this and leave, look, all I ask is that you leave a like on this video, that you comment if it helped you out, give an honest review, and honestly, let me know if you want me to make some specific builds from these other YouTubers that you guys are seeing. I'd be more than happy to do that for you guys. But one thing that we always want to start with is the physical. So we kept the speed, the agility, and the strength and the vertical all the same. One thing that you're going to want to make sure you do, which actually Swag mentions in his video, put the blur takeover, not the blur, excuse me, put the hydration hero takeover, because it's going to help you be a lot faster. I think it gives you like +5 plus. Let's actually look at that. So maybe it's not letting me pull up that specific takeover because it's more of like the generic takeovers. But trust me, when you run this build, when you make Cooper Flagg, you're going to want to put that hydration hero takeover on. It's going to help you be so much more faster. Again, we're a power forward, so that's really going to help us in order to outrun these power forward builds that may be a little slower. Get out on the break. Very, very important. But let's go ahead and move on to the rebounding. So you'll see on Swag's build, he decided to put his O board at an 80 as well. But the one difference with his is that he decided to make his D board at a 92, and plus to that, again, we do not have as much cap breaker. So what I decided to do was I was playing around with the builder, and I actually landed on putting a 94 rebound in order, because I don't have as much cap breakers, I don't want to have to wait in order to get this specific badge. So you'll see right here, I'm actually going to go straight to getting Hoff box out beast. We only get silver or gold rebound chaser, but honestly with the 83 vert, that does pair nice. I was not having any real issues with getting rebounds as a power forward. I think if you're low on cap breakers, I would not even focus on trying to make your rebounding at a 92 in order to get those +2. Just go straight to the 94. It honestly wasn't that expensive, and you'll see later into the build what I decided to use those cap breakers for specifically, and I think that'll help you out a lot. So gold rebound chaser, sufficient. Again, as you grind through your season, if you decide to make this +1 or +2 on your rebound chaser, just keep in mind that I do believe that this is a tier 1 badge, so I will check that for you guys right here. Yeah, so you can see right here, this is a tier 1 badge. Just keep that in mind. If you're hoping to +1 or +2, you are going to have to utilize your tier 1. We can go ahead and now let's skip over from defense. Let's go all the way to finishing so I can give you guys my review there. So what Swag did was a cool thing about these builders. I don't know if, I'm sure you guys have already seen this, but there's instances where on the 2K26 you can actually put 5 cap breakers and get like +10 or +20 plus something crazy. With the driving dunk, that's exactly what you can do on this build. I do recommend allocating some of your cap breakers here, but this is actually the second thing that you should cap break. I'll get into what you should primarily focus on, and that's going to be your playmaking cap breakers. But with the 75 driving dunk, you see here, we're actually not going to be able to get any posterizer. We're not going to be able to get silver posterizer quite yet, but you see we're going to be able to unlock that because we're going to +5 this driving dunk dunk. Cool thing about this specific build, you're gonna +5 this driving dunk, you're gonna be able to get all the way to an 89. So eventually you will be able to get 89 poster or 89 driving dunk, and you're gonna be able to get silver posterizer. Because I was a little low on cap breakers, I want to just let you know I was running an 85 driving dunk. So all the clips that you'll see right here is on an 85 driving dunk. Honestly, I have something about 2K26 and driving dunk is just broke. There is this patch now that they've patched it in season 2 where the meter sort of dynamically changes as you have people coming to defend you. So you will run into instances like that where you think you got a big meter and that big meter just goes away because someone decided to, you know, step in at the last minute and try to contest you. I don't know if you run into that if you have an 89 driving dunk, because I don't have that yet, as I mentioned. But the 85 driving dunk, you do unlock these animations right here, which I'll show you on the screen, and you're not honestly gonna have a problem finishing at the rim. Now let's go ahead and move on to our playmaking. I want to show you guys, this is probably my favorite part of this build specifically. So we do have a 70 ball handle. You're gonna put, if you have at least 5 cap breakers, make this version, because you're gonna 75, you're gonna have the ball handle at a 70, you're gonna +5, and you're gonna get an 80 ball handle. That's gonna unlock these dribble animations right here. Came straight from Swagg's video. Honestly, as a 6'9" power forward, to be able to move this way, I really don't understand how 2K continues to make. Maybe 2K is okay, like maybe 6'9s are just evolving, because this is some crazy dribble moves you're able to unlock on a 6'9". And I was doing the Vince Carter step backs. I was just moving well. I don't know what exactly they're tied to. Again, as people who are busy and we just want to make a build and have fun with, I'm not dissecting every single dribble animation that could be the absolute best. I more or less just grab that, and maybe you're like me, grab these animations, put them on the build, and just go ahead and start moving with the right stick. Now I will say I have a LeBron build which does a little bit more of, you know, these sort of twitchy L2 cancel type of animations. It's not as good as that because that one has an 85 ball handle, so it unlocks a little bit better. But honestly, as an 80 ball handle, just make sure you do that. He does mention in his video that you can do away with these specific cap breakers, but honestly I would not recommend that. I put mine on an 80 ball handle and I was having so much fun being wiggly at 6'9". You could really ISO, honestly. We're gonna have a 70 speed with ball. We kept that the same. Another thing that you can do, which I kept this as a possibility, you can +2 this pass act and get a 76. It's gonna help you get silver break starter. That's gonna help you a lot on the D boards. I ran just a 70 and I was happy with it. I can't really complain about a 70 pass act. I've had as low as a 25 on my lock build, which I'll put a link to the description below if you want to check that out after this video. It's night and day compared to that. My LeBron build has a 60. Night and day compared to that 70. Honestly, it's probably the best budget attribute, or probably the best budget attribute for the pass accuracy, that is. So 70 ball handle, make sure that you cap break this to an 80 ball handle if you really want to move like you see him moving in the video. I think that it's important. We kept the 70 speed with ball, and let's go ahead and move on to the shooting because I do want to show you guys what I did. His build has an 80 3-pointer. I decided, because my build specialization is shooting, I have 1 cap breaker because I'm on goal 7. I haven't reached the 2nd cap breaker, so I decided to go to an 89. The gold set shot specialist right here, you see that, or not gold, but silver set shot specialist. This is one of the places where I think the build takes a hit. I have a 79 3-pointer, as you see, and I'm running this jump shot that he decided to that he shared with us. I don't know if it's because on my other builds I have a higher mid range, so it helps me with that gold set shot. I was shooting probably like 40 to 50%. I also don't know if another variable here is that patch that they made where the tempo shooting is a little bit different, but I was shooting on my LeBron build probably more like 60 to 70. Of course I got the Ethernet, of course I got the jump shot packs. Unfortunately though, I just wasn't shooting as well as I like. For that reason, if you're looking at his video and his animations, or for the jump shot rather, and you look at mine, I decided to put mine on push rather than release. I think push is a lot better. Maybe that was one of the reasons why I wasn't shooting as well. But this build does take a little bit of hit, at least for me, who maybe can't shoot as well, or I'm not as used to the jumper. I've been playing with this build for like a couple days and maybe closer to a week. I am not shooting as much as as good as I would like to. That sweaty range of like 70% is what I would hope for. Unfortunately, I've had games where I've shot like 40 to 50, and that's a place where I think this build takes a hit. Now, if you're further along in your build specialization, maybe you have that tier 1 or that max +1 on your shooting attribute, you can put that to gold set shot and test it out. Regardless, there's not much where you can tweak, but that's just something to be aware of. The shooting to me wasn't as chicken as I thought it should be. But again, we're gonna have a 70 mid range. The 75 free throw I had no problems hitting on. Let's go ahead and move on to the defense. One thing that I did notice is that Swag has defense build specialization, so there's that attribute, or there's that thing to keep in mind. The main thing that I want to point to here is that he has a 91 block and he decided to +2 that to a 93. I decided to just go 91 or 92 because I could squeeze that out. What I also did was take the steal from an 80, or he has an 89. His justification there is because you have a 80, although it doesn't give you more, like you don't get Hall of Fame interceptor, but his rationale there is he thinks that the 89 does help you get better steals in the lanes with the gold interceptor. Honestly, I decided not to do that. Again, I don't have as much cap breakers, so I put mine just straight on the 85, and I was getting steals. Again, you're gonna have that hydration hero takeover, you're gonna have a higher speed. As you know, you do well in the game, you're gonna be able to get steals with an 85. I thought 85 is the perfect place to put it. Again, what he did with an 87, we're not cap breaking that, but we're gonna get a lot of silver badges here. I believe you can actually go to 89 if you have that much cap breakers. Let's see. So yeah, you could actually, if you plus 3 this, you could get the 90. I thought 87 was serviceable. There was a couple instances where you're running to sweaties and you're like, why am I not, you know, I feel like I'm there, I'm not getting a bump on this dude. I think that's where I would kind of knock the 87. 87 is not 93, but it is enough to be able to guard, you know, here and there, able to guard your man and not get like 40 or 50 dropped on you. I think I got like 30 to 35 dropped on me like one time. That's like out of like 15 to 20 rec games. Come on, sometimes you just run into those sweaty dudes. Anyways, the interior is going to be a 77. I kept that the same. So basically where I leveraged my cap breakers for defense is I could eventually go to a 92 or a 93 and be able to get that gold paint patroller. I don't hold down the paint as well without the gold paint patroller, but you know, as I progress in the season, as you progress in the season, you can put that +1. So let's see the total amount of cap breakers that I put. Again, I have that 1 build specialization, so that's 1, 5 there, and then I think I was able to put 4 here, so or 2 or 3 actually. I only made this build with like 6 to 7 cap breakers. So that's my honest review of the build. I honestly think that this was a lot of fun. 6'9s, I feel like big guards are going to continue to dominate 2K26. I don't see any reason why you should ever go towards it. If you're gonna make a guard build, undersized power forwards still seem to be like the wave, and it was really fun to be able to have this. There's really nothing you can't do on the court, so I'm gonna give this build a 9 out of 10. There was some air. I wish I could shoot a little better. Maybe that's just a skill issue on my end. Let's go ahead and see what shades we get with this build. Again, we are Cooper Flagg 32. We're gonna be an edge enforcing small ball 4. Extra brownie points just for the cool name. Again, a 9 out of 10. Look, if you made it to this video, let me know what other builds you guys want to make next. I really appreciate you guys for helping me continue to build this channel. Jesus Christ first always, man. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Deuces.